Hello there, welcome back to another review, and today we are going to talk about the tobacco fragrances from the house of Ibraheem Al Qurashi. Now, the tobacco fragrances are very popular and in my opinion one of the best series of flankers that you can get to buy today, and these are really good because they have a variety of scent profiles that you can choose. And most importantly, like the name tobacco, they are not actually repulsive in nature, in the sense to say that unlike most of the tobacco fragrances, which are very masculine, dark, strong, this is a very beautiful blend of multiple type of scent profiles, and definitely the tobacco note is one of them that is added into all of the 9 fragrances that they have, but in varieties of different ways. Okay, in some cases it could be a fresh ingredient, in some cases it is a opening ingredient like a top note, and in some cases it's a base note. So the blends are very diverse, and in this way I feel that the Ibraheem Al Qurashi tobacco series is one of the best series of fragrances that you could actually have in a collection. Typically, if you were to just to get all of the 9 fragrances and keep, they are actually very versatile in a way that you can actually wear them all across the year. And today in this particular video, I'm going to talk to you about all 9 of them and tell you what are their scent profiles. Because trust me, one of the good things that you will get from Ibraheem Al Qurashi's house in terms of their fragrances is the value for money option one. Second is fantastic performances, right? All of them are solid fragrances. They perform really well. You can literally consider that 6 to 7 hours is the bare minimum that you will get on some fragrances on apparel last for days together. Now that's the kind of scent profile that you get and the quality of performance that you get on these fragrances. So you can definitely think about them as extremely value for money, high quality fragrances. And let's talk about each one of them today and give you a brief idea about what their scent quality is. And just to give you a heads up, all of them are being added onto decants as well, and you can definitely try them out before you buy the full bottles, because the full bottles are generally available in some of them are available in 100 mls and some of them are only available in 200 mls. Another thing is that Ibraheem Al Qurashi is officially not available in India, so you do get these fragrances imported, so you will have to kind of get it from somebody who's getting it from Saudi, or some of the sellers in India are able to access them. But still, one of the challenges that you would realize is that none of the sellers have actually been able to get all 9 of them at the same time. Some of them have a couple of them and so forth, and that's the exact reason why when I went to Saudi this time, I managed to get all 9 of them, because I wanted to try out all of their fragrances and also make it possible for you to have an access through a decanting option, and that's why we have decanted all 9 of them as well. All right, so let's get into the review without further ado. And if you kind of like the type of content that you get, especially these kind of reviews, because you don't find them on any other channels in India, then definitely hit the subscribe button, notification, and drop a comment, and I'll see you quickly onto the videos right after this intro. Let's start with the first fragrance here, and we're talking about the Greek tobacco. Okay, now, the Greek tobacco is one of the most sought after fragrances because this, I feel, is one of the most unisex, mass pleasing DNA, because this predominantly is a very fruity, floral kind of a fragrance, and the name Greek tobacco here refers to the Greek tobacco note added onto the base notes. Now predominantly on this one you will find fruity notes like lychee, apricot, a lot of floral notes as well, but essentially this is a sweet, fruity, likely floral, especially fruity elements like lychee, like a lot of jasmine kind of an element as well, and then of course a lot of ambroxan and sweetness. Now this also has a lot of musk, it also has a lot of iris onto it as well, but openingly you will definitely get a lot of the sweet elements of apricot, orange, lychees, the little bit of those roses, and then a very mass pleasing DNA that projects really beautifully. Now this is something that you can wear for date nights, you can wear it for casual outings, you can wear it for office, and you will get fantastic compliments from this because it is very mass appealing, which is very mass pleasing, and that way you are definitely you will definitely have somebody turning their heads to smell what you're wearing. Okay, now this is not a direct clone of any particular fragrance as such, so I'm not able to actually tell you whether the DNA is inspired from something, but you can definitely consider fragrances in the genre of, let's say, Badealud, Sublime, that kind of a genre where there's a lot of tarty fruitness, okay, that kind of DNA, which is very beautiful. And this performs really good as well. It's a 6 to 7 hour kind of a performing, easy on your skin, on your apparel. This will go to about 8-9 hours time as well. One of the nicest scents to look out this is Greek tobacco. The next one we'll talk about is the Mexican tobacco. Now the Mexican tobacco is actually very beautiful. This is, I feel, a total contrast to the Greek tobacco fragrance as such. This is a lot more softer in its opening. You will feel kind of as if, there's a lot of iris going across. You will have a lot of ambery elements. That's another element that you will notice, and a good amount of sweetness. Now the sweetness is kind of blended very well with the ambery elements of this fragrance. There's a light hue of floral element as well. But overall, as a scent profile, this is a very dark masculine kind of a scent, because this also has the Mexican tobacco in the base notes. But the way it's kind of, blended, it has got, I think, a lot of chocolatey element to it as well. So there's a lot of dark, tense, masculine nature. Whereas the Greek tobacco was a lot more floral, bright in nature. This has got a lot of dark theme to it. Now this actually opens with a lot of dark chocolate, cinnamon, lilac, and a lot of cedar wood and a little bit of iris. So the dark chocolate along with the cinnamon brings up to a little bit of that dark, temptation kind of a vibe. It also has a little bit of that sweetness as well. Overall, I feel this is the type of scent that you can wear for parties. It is very masculine in nature, in its dark tone approach, but at the same time you can casually wear it for some kind of a party. You can go for clubbing with this. You can actually wear it even for date nights, and you will definitely garner compliments as well. However, this is pretty popular with the people who like the tobacco series. Mexican tobacco is one of the most popular fragrances and one of the highest sold ones, although this I think comes only in the 100 ml option. This is absolutely beautiful, smells really good, smells very complicated, smells very mature. Along with that cinnamon's chocolatey vibe that you get, the little bit of that rose and a lot of ambery elements. This one performs really good. Slightly softer when compared to Greek tobacco in its projection, you can say, because projection you will definitely get about 2 to 2.5 feet, of course, but performance wise this is really good. It does about 9-10 hours easy. On your apparel, you will find it on the next day as well. So this is Mexican tobacco. The next one here is called the Cuban Tobacco. Now the Cuban Tobacco, in my opinion, is the most darkest out there, probably the second darkest kind of fragrance, because this is very different. Now this is one of those fragrances where the tobacco note is right at the top. So it has this dark, strong masculine tobacco vibe to it, but then it also has got a lot of sweetness to it. Now the sweetness is an undertone of a sweetness that's coming from the honey that is there in the fragrance. Now this is also the one that has got a lot of leather into it as well. So it actually opens with a lot of tobacco. It has leather. It has a lot of woody elements. I think it also has a little bit of vibe of honey and leatherette to it. The other elements that are there in this is cocoa as well, and then there is a lot of sandalwood. So you do get that sweetness of the sandalwood woody element. But the dominant note of this is, of course, a good amount of honey, kind of, almost slightly resembles, let's say, honey tobacco fragrance, or, Guerlain's honey tobacco, that kind of a vibe as well. But it is a lot more stronger, lot more mature, lot more darker. Now, this is something that I would easily recommend you to wear for, let's say, a lovely ride. If you're somebody going on bike, you like a leather jacket, you like leathery stuff, then this will work really good. And the bottle is absolutely beautiful as well, a dark brown bottle. Takes a lot of motivation, inspiration from the Cuban nature of things, where everything is dark, especially the cigars that you have from Cuba. So those are the cigar elements that it's going for, especially with the cocoa that is there and the sandalwood sweetness. But the honey, the underlying honey tone in this is absolutely wonderful to smell. Now this is also a killer kind of a note in terms of projection. It projects really good to 3 feet plus, but it actually lasts for about a whole day. Okay, now this is one of those fragrances that you put on, it will project nicely, and for about 10-12 hours you will get solid performance out of this. This is a keeper. This is Cuban Tobacco. The next one is the Dominican Tobacco. Now this is again another masculine scent in my opinion, because this one has again tobacco notes right at the top. But this one also has got a lot of sweetness. Now in fact the first few fragrances that we've done has got a lot of sweetness, but this one has got a cutting across sharp musk tone to it as well. Now this is the kind of fragrance that you would want to wear for weddings. Okay, that's the first thing that comes to my mind, because it has got saffron in it, it has got tobacco vibe to it, but the way in which it opens is it's got a lot of sweetness. Now the sweet elements of this fragrance makes it very, very beautiful to kind of wear, and it gives you a lot of complement elements. Now this actually has got cinnamon, lavender, it actually has a lot of neroli, it has citrus elements as well, and one of the few fragrances that have got a little bit of citrus element to it, but the predominant note is the opening notes of the sweet elements that you find. The cinnamon, the lavender and the saffron make it a very beautiful opening, and so you can almost think about it like literally a note that also has, think about like Bade al Oud for greatness, that kind of a saffron note along with that oud element. That's the kind of a note profile. It will kind of remind you slightly, but overall it is a very beautiful fragrance which projects really, really good. And surprisingly, this has got one of the most unique scent profiles that you can actually wear for a really long time. Projects for about 3 feet plus. You will easily get about, in all of the 4 fragrances that we've discussed so far, you will get 45 minutes to 1 hour of, to 1.5 hours, 2 hours of projection easily in some cases, especially the darker ones like the Cuban Tobacco, the Dominican ones, and all of them project really, really good. Performance goes for 10 hours plus. This is a beautiful one to keep. This is Dominican Tobacco. The next one here is the Brazilian Tobacco. Now this is definitely more on the fresher side of things. So this is where it starts leading a lot toward fresh type of scents. This for me, I feel has got a lot of aromatics. It has a little bit of a barbershop vibe. It has a lot of spices. It has a lot of citrus elements. Overall, it has a DNA that's a lot more mask pleasing and a lot more day wear. Okay, so this is definitely one for the outdoors. This is something that you can wear casually and go out, and you will definitely garner compliments because of its unique element of the citruses coming together along with the other elements of the woody notes. Now this has Brazilian tobacco, oud, leather, vetiver. It has a lot of other elements, a lot of spicy elements like chili, peppercorns and stuff of that nature. So you kind of get a very aromatic vibe with a little bit of that earthiness to it as well. Has a very fresh appeal to it. Although this will project for about 2.5 to 3 feet, but the scent profile is very not too overly sweet like the other ones. Okay, especially if you think about Greek tobacco or if you think about Mexican tobacco, they have very sweet fragrances. Brazilian tobacco is not like that. Although because it has a lot of the citrus elements, it has a lot of sweet elements to it, but because there is leather, there is vetiver, and especially the spicier elements that we're talking about, and a little bit of the oud element. The oud here is not a pronounced one, so you can literally think about it that's a non-oud fragrance, but because of the peppercorns, because of the spicier nature, this is a lot less sweeter, more mask pleasing, and definitely a lot more leaning towards feminine and unisex scent profile. It is very good to wear casually, and if you're looking for something to wear just around the summertime, just around casually to offices, then this is fantastic to wear. This is Brazilian tobacco. Now let's enter the Spanish tobacco area, and this is where things get out of control, to be very honest. Now this, if you are not aware, this is a DNA that's inspired from the Megamar from Orthoparisis, and this is a beast mode scent. Okay, now like I said earlier, all of the performance of these fragrances are top notch, but these take it to the whole next level, right? So the Spanish tobacco is actually a kind of a 3-spray, 4-spray kind of a perfume because it smells absolutely gorgeous. The performance is overpowering, and it actually does, with those just 4 sprays, it does an entire day and beyond. Okay, now the DNA of this is a lot spicier. It has got a lot of musk, it has got a lot of marine element, it has got a lot of salty element, but predominantly it's the musk, the salty elements coming together to give you a very aquatic marine type of a fragrance. Now this is one of the reasons I also told you earlier that the entire set has got a very versatile type of fragrances. You have a lot of sweet fragrances, fruity fragrances, leathery fragrances, then you also have something like a marine fragrance. Now this actually has aquatic notes, Spanish tobacco, woody elements, a lot of woody elements, and then a lot of aquatic vibe as well. It also talks about cocoa and other stuff, but which is not very dominant. Overall, if you have used Latafas Atlas, if you have used Aquapura, this is in the similar dominant element or territory. The only thing is the performance is superb. You do 4 sprays, it projects for about 3 feet plus, projects the whole time for about 2 hours plus, lasts the whole day, and the next day you will have to literally wash your clothes off to get rid of it. That's the kind of performance that you get. In fact, in my opinion, one of my favorite and one of my long-lasting fragrances from this lineup is the Spanish tobacco. The next one here is the most popular one of all. This is the French tobacco from Ibrahim Al Qurashi. This is the one that a lot of people are opting for. A lot of people are looking for this, and this comes in the 200 ml option currently. Now this is basically a slightly spicier, citrusy, orange, lot of elements of fruity tones and a lot of citrus elements, but a lot of ambroxan as well. And this will remind you of the popular Louis Vuitton's Imagination. Now this DNA is definitely inspired from it, but this is not a one-to-one clone in my opinion, and that's one of the reasons I did not include this in the previous video where we were talking about Louis Vuitton Imagination Dupe, because this has got a slight twist to it because of the spicier nature. Now the Louis Vuitton Imagination has got a lot more sweeter element to it. The green tea note there is a lot more dominant, evident as well. Here I feel there is a lot of citruses, there's a lot of orange elements to it, there's a lot of citrus vibe to it, but a lot of spicier take to it as well because of the inclusion of the French tobacco note to it in the form of a green element, okay, or a green tone to this particular fragrance. This becomes a more spicier version of Imagination. Now if you're somebody who does not like sweet fragrances and you've been wanting to get an Imagination type of a scent, then definitely French tobacco is the one to get, because this smells exactly like that, a more fresher, a more greener, more spicier version of the Louis Vuitton Imagination, done fantastically well. Another great element of this is the performance, top-notch performance on this one. This is a beast mode scent. You do about 4 to 5 sprays. It projects for a whole long 1.5 to 2 hours plus, lasts on your skin and your apparel for 8 to 10 hours time. So projection performance, this one is a king. This is superb to get. This is the French tobacco. Coming to one of the nicest scents here is the Arabian Tobacco. Now this comes in a golden flanker, and this is a 200 ml one, and this for me smells probably the most unique ones in this entire series. This has almost got like a boozy kind of an effect, but that's actually a lot of salted caramel mixed with a lot of coffee, a lot of roses and a lot of dense ambery elements onto this one. Smells totally unique, smells absolutely ridiculously beautiful in a way that you would not expect at all. Now this has iris, saffron, musk to be clear. It also has a lot of Arabian tobacco. It has a lot of salted caramel. It has a little bit of a coffee, smoked coffee to be very precise. This is the type of scent that you would want to wear for a date night. You want to wear for parties. You want to wear for celebration. And a lot of weddings also you can wear this, because this is going to get you a lot of compliments. Now this, in terms of performance, is absolutely stunning. Okay, this is probably the most beast mode scent of all in this entire series, and for me this kind of projects, like you can say, to about 3 feet plus and last for a whole day. Okay, it has a very unique scent profile to it. It has a lot of smokiness. It has a lot of boozy type of a vibe that's basically the caramel going across with a lot of the saffron and iris, and the way this all comes together to give you a typical Middle Eastern type of a scent, which is a dense, strong, masculine, dark. That is the way this would absolutely work. Okay, and this is something that, like I said earlier, you can wear it for any occasion, especially celebrations, parties, somewhere where you are appreciated for a lot of dark, dense scents. Then this is really the one to kind of go for. This is superb. This is the Arabian Tobacco. Now the last one here is the Jamaican Tobacco. Now the Jamaican Tobacco is, I think, one of the 2 fragrances where there is oud in it, and so this one actually has a very unique scent profile to it. Somewhere it kind of also makes you feel that this has got a little bit of a barbershop vibe to it. It's a lot lesser in terms of sweetness, so there's a lot of spicier element to it, lots of mild tones to it, a lot more composing nature of a scent. This actually opens with a lot of patchouli. It has a lot of amber. It has a lot of vetiver. It has a lot of earthy nuances to it along with the wood, and there's a lot of Jamaican tobacco to it as well. Now, and you'll realize that if you know the reggae theme, you will note that a lot of people here also like a lot of cigars and that kind of vibe. So this also has that mature, ambery, masculine, dark theme to it. Okay, and this also has a light amount of mild sweetness along with that wood. But however, because of the dry down, it has a little bit of that floral vibe coming from the jasmine, and this is Unlike any other fragrance, it has a little bit of that barbershop vibe to it. Very beautifully done, masculine, woody, spicier kind of a nature, but with slight amount of oud and slight amount of woody elements to it. Okay, but when we talk about oud, it's not in any way off-putting as well, but a lot more composed. This, in my opinion, is a very personal kind of a scent. I would kind of recommend this and tell you that you should wear this only if you love fragrances as such, because this, I feel, is not going to garner a lot of compliments, because this is very mature. It's more old style. It is more masculine in its nature. Okay, something totally unique, but this is really nice as well. This is the Jamaican Tobacco. Okay, now if I were to categorize these scents and tell you which are the ones that have got a more fresher take to it, so I will say Greek tobacco is more fresher. Okay, Brazilian tobacco is on the fresher sense. Definitely French tobacco as well, because of that citrusy nature to it, and then of course the Spanish tobacco also, because of that aquatic marine, that kind of a nature, has a lot more spice, fresh orientation. If you're thinking about fresh fragrances, then you can consider those. And if you're thinking about dark fragrances, then the variety just keeps going up, except for the Mexican one, which I think is a lot more floral sweet. You could definitely consider the others, the Cuban tobacco, for example, the Dominican tobacco that you can think about, and of course the Arabian tobacco along with the Jamaican tobacco are all dark scents. Okay, now those are the dark ones and those are the fresh ones. Now if you take specifically beast mode scents, then I would say peace. Okay, so Spanish tobacco, definitely beast mode of a scent. Okay, Arabian tobacco, definitely one of the best ones to consider, and then of course the French tobacco as well. Okay, overall, when I say beast mode, you can already expect the other ones like the Greek, Brazilian ones, the Cuban ones to already give you to 7 to 8 hours of performance. The beast ones, they actually go beyond 12 to 14 hours, and even the next day as well. Overall, I felt this was one of the best set of flankers of any series that I've liked, where the versatility is so much. Though there is the tobacco note in almost all of their fragrances, but yet each one is so unique and so versatile that if you were to have all of them, you would kind of literally fill up an entire collection that will give you value for money, that will give you performance, and that will give you very unique scent profiles that you can wear for every occasion. Alright, so if you definitely want to try them out, like I said, we do have some decants left of them, so definitely go ahead and try it. But otherwise, DM me to let me know what are your thoughts about this series of fragrances and how you like the video. And I'll see you on another video. Until another time, take care. Bye bye.